I, 28, female, had a really weird birthday this year and just needed to get this off my chest. I'm not looking for sympathy, just want to share what happened. So, some background before I get into the actual birthday incident. I married my husband, Kevin, 31, male, a year ago. We had been together for 3 years before getting married, and honestly, he is a great guy. We met through mutual friends, and he was just sweet, kind, respectful, everything I wanted. I did not come from money, and neither did he. We were both just regular working people trying to make our way. Kevin recently got promoted at work and started making a decent amount of money. He is in IT and works long hours. We're not rich, but we are comfortable now. I also work as a teacher. I love my job, even if it does not pay much. We have been supporting each other through everything. Kevin has a sister named Rachel, 33, female. She has always been a bit cold towards me. I noticed it even before Kevin and I got married. She's the type who always gives backhanded compliments. Like if I wore a nice dress, she would say something like, "That is a fancy dress. Must have cost Kevin a lot." That kind of thing. At first I just brushed it off. I thought maybe I was being sensitive or imagining things. Rachel lives about 30 minutes away from us, and we see her often during family events. She is very close with Kevin, and I think she always imagined that and she would be the most important woman in his life. When we got married, it was like she did not know how to adjust to the new dynamic. So anyway, fast forward to this year. It was my birthday a few weeks ago. Kevin planned a small gathering at our house, just close family and a few friends. I was not expecting anything big. I just wanted a chill evening with people I cared about. Rachel came early and she brought a cake. That surprised me because she had never done that before. She usually does not even acknowledge my birthday unless someone reminds her. The cake was in a white box, sealed, so I did not think much of it. I thanked her for bringing it, went back to setting up some snacks in the kitchen, and later in the evening, when it was time to cut the cake, Kevin brought it out and placed it in front of me. Everyone gathered around and started singing happy birthday. I was smiling and happy until I looked down and saw what was written on the cake. In bright pink icing, it said, "Happy birthday, 365 days of gold digging." I was honestly in shock. For a second, I thought maybe it was some weird bakery mix-up. But then I looked at Rachel and she was grinning like she had pulled off the greatest prank of the year. A few people started laughing awkwardly. Kevin looked confused and kind of frozen. I did not laugh. I just stood there staring at the cake. It was like the air had been sucked out of the room. A few people looked away and some stopped smiling. I turned to Rachel and asked her why she thought this was funny. She shrugged and said it was just a joke, that it was meant to be light-hearted and that I was too sensitive. She even said that I've been married a whole year now and should be able to take a joke. I was not laughing, and neither was Kevin at that point. He looked pissed, but did not say anything. I guess he did not want to make a scene at my birthday, but the silence spoke for itself. I told Rachel that it was not funny, that calling someone a gold digger, even as a joke, is disrespectful and mean. She rolled her eyes and said I was overreacting and that if I could not handle harmless teasing, I should not be in the family. That really hit me, like, who says that on someone's birthday? We ended up taking the cake to the kitchen. Kevin brought out a different one he had ordered himself. Thank God. It was still in the fridge. We cut that one instead, but the mood was kind of ruined. People were trying to pretend like nothing happened, but it was super awkward after that. Later that night, Kevin apologized to me and said he had no idea Rachel would pull something like that. He was genuinely upset and said he would talk to her. I told him I appreciated it, but I did not want any drama that night. I just wanted to go to bed and forget about it. But the whole thing stuck with me. It was not even just about the cake. It was the fact that she felt so comfortable disrespecting me like that in front of everyone and then blame me for not laughing. Like I was the problem. I do not know if she really believes I married Kevin for money or if she's just bitter about something else. But even if she was trying to be funny, that is not the kind of joke you make. Not when you barely know the person well enough to even tease them. It was not just a cake, it was a message. And the worst part is, now she's telling people that I ruined my own birthday by making a big deal out of nothing. She texted Kevin the next day saying I needed to chill and that it's not like she called me some profanity or something. Her exact words. I did not respond to her. I still haven't. Kevin told her she crossed a line and she has not apologized. She just keeps defending it like it was the most innocent prank in the world. So after the whole birthday cake thing, I did not talk to Rachel for a while. Things were cold between us. She never apologized. Kevin had a few conversations with her, but she always played the victim and said I was too emotional and too sensitive. I decided to just keep my distance. Kevin and I continued our life, and eventually I just put it behind me. I did not want to waste energy thinking about someone who clearly did not respect me. But then a few months later, Rachel announced that she was pregnant. She made a big deal out of it, posted pictures of the pregnancy test, ultrasound, baby bump, the whole 9 yards. Her husband, David, 35, male, seemed happy, though I never really knew him well. He was quiet and polite. From the outside, they looked like a perfect couple. Soon enough, plans for the baby shower started. Kevin's mom took the lead in organizing it, and it was going to be held at a local community hall. Everyone was invited, including me. I did not want to go, but Kevin said we should at least show up, to be polite. I agreed, but decided I would only stay for a short while. Around the same time, something unexpected happened. I was scrolling through Instagram one night and saw that a girl I went to high school with posted a story. She had tagged a guy I did not recognize, but his name looked familiar. I clicked on his profile and realized he looked exactly like the guy I saw in Rachel's phone once, over a year ago. I remembered it clearly because we were all out for dinner one night and her phone lit up with a message that said, "Miss you already." It did not say who it was from, and I did not think much of it at the time. Now, seeing this guy's face jogged my memory. I don't know what made me do it, but I followed the tag trail and ended up on his page. That is when I saw it, a picture of him and Rachel. It was not recent. It was taken about 8 months ago, judging by the caption, but the photo was definitely romantic. They were holding hands on the beach, and she was wearing sunglasses and trying to hide her face a bit, but it was her. I was 100% sure. I scrolled more and found another post where he had written something like, "Missing my girl," and used heart emojis. Still, no tags. But I recognized her sweater. I kept digging and eventually found a comment from Rachel on one of his old posts. It was just a simple heart, but still. The more I looked, the more suspicious I got. Now, I know this sounds like I was stalking, but I was not planning on doing anything with the info. At first, I just wanted to confirm that I was not going crazy, and then I remembered something even more interesting. Rachel once used Kevin's iPad to log into her email during a family trip. She never logged out. Kevin did not really use the iPad, so it had just been sitting in a drawer. I opened it and checked, and her email was still logged in. I know it was a breach of privacy, but I clicked on it, and that's when I found everything. Emails, messages, screenshots. Turns out Rachel had been cheating on David for over a year. It started while she was working late, and the guy she was with was not even trying to be discreet. I even saw a few emails where she talked about how she could never leave David right now because it was not the right time. But the worst part was that one of the emails she sent just 2 weeks before announcing her pregnancy, asking the guy that what if the baby is his? I felt sick. I knew David had no clue. He was the kind of guy who trusted her completely. And Rachel? She was walking around smiling, planning her baby shower like nothing had happened. At that point, I was not even thinking about revenge. I just did not know what to do with the information. I told Kevin. He was stunned. He said he needed time to think. After a few days, I asked him if he thought we should tell David. Kevin was not sure. He said it was not our place, and if Rachel was really pregnant, it would get messy. I understood that, but I also felt like David deserved to know the truth. I hated the idea of staying silent. I kept imagining him raising a child that might not even be his, while Rachel continued to lie to him every day. I thought about it for weeks. I did not say anything to anyone else. I just kept going over it in my head. I could not sleep properly. I was angry at Rachel, at her smug face, at how she got away with hurting people and still acted like she was better than everyone. And then I remembered the birthday cake. That cake was still burned in my mind. The message she had written, the look on her face, and how she said I was too sensitive, it was not just a joke, it was an attack. And now I had her truth in my hands. So I made a decision. Rachel's baby shower was coming up. Everyone was bringing gifts, decorations, food. I told Kevin I would bring a cake. He asked if I was sure I wanted to go, and I said yes. I did not tell him what I planned. I just said I would handle it. I went to a custom cake place. I gave them everything. The message I wanted on it, 365 days of cheating, and the screenshot. It was a message between Rachel and the other guy where she wrote, "You are the real father of the child." I had it printed onto edible paper and placed right on top of the cake. I picked a pretty pastel color for the frosting. From the outside, it looked like any other baby shower cake. The day of the baby shower came. I walked in like nothing was wrong, greeted people, smiled, helped with the decorations. Rachel gave me a fake hug and thanked me for coming. She looked so proud of herself. The cake was in a box. I waited until it was time to cut it. Everyone gathered around her. Kevin stood next to me. He did not know what I had done yet. And then someone opened the box. The room went quiet. There it was, the cake, with the big words, 365 days of cheating, and the screenshot, big enough for everyone to see. Rachel looked like she had been slapped. Her smile dropped. She stared at it like she could not believe what she was seeing. People started whispering, and one of her friends gasped. Kevin just stared, stunned. She looked at me, and I looked back at her, and I did not say anything. I did not need to. Everything was already on the cake. Rachel started crying. She called me insane. She screamed that I ruined her day, that it was her baby shower, and I had made it all about myself. She tried to deny it at first, said it was fake. But too many people had seen the texts by then, and I had more proof saved in case she tried to spin it. David left. I think he was too shocked to even speak. He did not look at anyone. He just walked out the door. People started leaving. Some stayed behind to comfort Rachel, but she just kept crying and screaming that I was evil and jealous. She could not believe I would do something so cruel. Kevin was quiet the whole ride home, and when we got there, he finally asked me why I did it that way. I told him I wanted her to feel what she made me feel on my birthday. I wanted her to be humiliated in front of everyone she cared about. I wanted her to remember that moment every time she thought about mocking someone again. Now a few days have passed. The family split. Some think I went too far. Others say Rachel got what she deserved. Rachel has been posting vague stuff on social media about betrayal and fake people. She has not messaged me directly. David has not said anything, but he has not moved back in either. Kevin hasn't taken sides. He says he understands why I did it, but he is worried that it made everything worse. So here I am, wondering, AITA for bringing a cheating cake to my sister-in-law's baby shower after she humiliated me on my birthday with a gold digger? Update 1. It had been quiet for a few weeks after the baby shower disaster. People weren't really talking to each other, at least not openly. Kevin's family was still tense and split. Some stayed on Rachel's side, others stayed out of it completely, and a few quietly supported me. No one really knew how to act. Everyone was just waiting. Rachel had gone silent after the baby shower. She did not post anything for a while, which was strange for her. Normally, she was the type to post every moment of her life. Ultrasounds, baby bump pics, what she ate for breakfast, but after the cake incident, she vanished from social media. I figured she was embarrassed or plotting, probably both. David did not say anything publicly either. He disappeared too. I had no idea what was going on between him and Rachel, but from what Kevin heard from his mom, David had moved in with his brother for a while. Rachel was staying at their apartment alone, and then Rachel started posting again. Not much, just a few vague captions about healing and growing. Then came the baby pictures, a soft pink onesie, a little name board next to a newborn's feet. She did not tag David, and there were no pictures of him holding the baby. Kevin's mom sent a picture to the family group chat and said the baby had been born healthy, a girl. Kevin replied politely, just saying congrats. I did not say anything. Rachel did not reach out to me, not that I expected her to. I think she was hoping everyone would just move on and forget everything. Pretend like none of it ever happened. Like the cake was a fever dream and the screenshots weren't real. Classic Rachel move. Hide long enough and come back smiling and act like the victim. About 2 weeks after the baby was born, Kevin's cousin Liam told him something in private. Apparently, David had ordered a paternity test, quietly. He had not told Rachel, he just waited until the baby was born and did it. Liam was not supposed to know, but David had asked him for help finding a reliable clinic. Liam works in healthcare and has a few connections. Kevin told me that night, and I could not stop thinking about it. It was weird to say, but I was nervous for him. Not because I thought the baby was his. Deep down, I was sure she was not. But because I knew how painful it was going to be for him if the test confirmed it. David seemed like a good man. He really loved Rachel. He was not perfect. But you could tell he had been all in. He had always treated her like she was something precious, and now he might be finding out that everything he believed was a lie, that the baby he had been preparing for was not even his. A few days passed. I did not ask Kevin for updates. I figured we would find out eventually. Then Kevin got a call from his mom. I was sitting on the couch when he answered, and I could hear her voice even though the phone was not on speaker. She was talking fast, saying things like unbelievable and disgusting things, and I can't believe she did this. Kevin just said yeah and wow a few times and kept rubbing his forehead like his brain was trying to keep up. When he hung up, he turned to me and said, "The baby's not David's." The test came back, and it confirmed what everyone had suspected but had not wanted to believe. David was not the father. Kevin said Rachel completely lost it when she found out, and she accused David of violating her privacy. Said he did not trust her, screamed that the test must be wrong. She tried every trick, denial, anger, guilt. Then she broke down crying and said it did not matter because he was the one who had always been there for the baby, not the other guy. David did not buy it. He packed a bag and left. Again. This time he filed for divorce. He told Kevin's mom that he felt like a fool, that he had spent months preparing for a future that never existed, that he had no idea who Rachel really was, that he could not even look at the baby without feeling like a stranger. I don't know how to feel. Part of me was relieved the truth was finally out, and a part of me felt heavy. Not because I felt bad for Rachel, she did this to herself, but because of how messy it had become, and how a baby was now at the center of it all. Rachel started blowing up the family group chat, long messages about how David was heartless, that he was abandoning her and the baby when they needed him most. that he was cruel for walking away just because of a mistake. She kept calling it a mistake, like cheating for over a year was the same as forgetting to buy milk. She kept saying the baby did not ask for any of this, that she deserved a father, that David had already bonded with her and should not punish an innocent child. A few people replied with support. Kevin's aunt told Rachel to stay strong. One of her friends commented something about how men can't handle strong women. But most people did not say anything. David stayed silent. A few more weeks passed. David moved out of town. No one knew exactly where he went, just that he had transferred jobs and wanted a clean break. Kevin's mom said he might be staying with his cousin in another state. He did not tell Rachel. She only found out when she tried to go to his place and discovered someone else living there. Update 2. Everything was quiet until one day when I was not even online, a Facebook post went up. I found out because my phone started blowing up with messages from people I had not talked to in months. High school classmates, Kevin's old co-workers, my hairdresser, even my cousin from another state. At first I thought something terrible had happened, but when I opened one of the messages, it was just a screenshot. Rachel's post, long, dramatic, and all about me. She did not use my name, but it was obvious who she meant. She said someone had been jealous of her marriage, jealous of her baby, jealous of her perfect life. She said this person had gone out of their way to humiliate her, to ruin her baby shower, to tear apart her home, that this person had been digging through her private messages and twisting the truth. She said her husband left her because of lies, that people love to see a happy woman fall, that the world hates single mothers and that her child would grow up in a broken home because of one bitter, insecure woman who just could not stand seeing someone else happy. Then she added a photo of herself holding the baby. Her eyes were red, like she had been crying. The caption under the photo said something about being a strong mother and protecting her daughter from toxic people. I did not know whether to laugh or scream. The post got hundreds of likes and comments within hours. Most from people I did not know. Some said they were proud of her for speaking up. Some called her brave. Others said they were sending prayers. A few said something seemed off, but they were drowned out by the rest. The worst part was seeing people who knew me liking it. People who had been at our wedding, people who had commented gorgeous under our pregnancy announcement, people who had smiled in my face and were now hearing posts calling me a home wrecker without even knowing the full story. Kevin told me to ignore it, that it would blow over, that people love drama, but they have short attention spans. I knew he was trying to make me feel better, but it did not help. Every time I checked my phone, there was another message. Some were just nosy, some were passive-aggressive, a few were downright hateful. One woman messaged me saying I should be ashamed of myself, that I had no right to insert myself into someone else's marriage, that women like me were the reason families were falling apart. I had no idea who she was. Another person commented on one of my old photos saying I must be so proud of myself, that karma would come for me eventually. At work, people started whispering. I caught two co-workers staring at me in the break room, then suddenly going quiet when I walked in. One of them even asked me if everything at home was okay, but not in a caring way, more like fishing for gossip. I stopped checking Facebook for a while. I turned off notifications. I deleted the app from my phone, but that did not stop people from talking. One afternoon, Rachel showed up at Kevin's mom's house again. She had the baby with her. She sat on the porch and refused to leave until someone came outside. Kevin's mom called Kevin and asked him to handle it. He drove over there and asked her what she wanted. Rachel said she wanted to talk, that she was tired of being blamed and ignored, that she missed the family and wanted to make things right. But when Kevin told her this was not the way to fix anything, she got angry again, said he was just taking my side, said I had brainwashed him. She left in tears again and then posted another photo later that night, a picture of the baby sleeping with a caption about being all alone in the world. That post got even more comments than the first. Rachel started messaging people directly, telling them her side, sending long paragraphs about how I had ruined her life. She even tried messaging Kevin's ex, trying to dig up something about me. Luckily, his ex was not interested and showed Kevin the messages, but it just proved how far Rachel was willing to go. Kevin's aunt tried to defend Rachel in the family group chat, saying she was just hurting and that people should be more understanding. Kevin's mom shut that down immediately, said pain does not excuse lies and manipulation, that Rachel had crossed a line. Rachel did not stop, though. She kept posting vague messages, sad quotes, photos of the baby with captions like she deserves better. Every now and then she would post something about family betrayal, always hinting, always pointing the finger without saying names. People kept talking. Some friends stopped inviting me to things. One even uninvited me from her baby shower, saying she did not want any drama. That one stung. I had been looking forward to that shower for weeks. Eventually, things started to quiet down. The likes and comments slowed, the messages stopped, but the damage was done. People had already made up their minds. Even the ones who did not say anything looked at me differently. I felt like I had to defend myself everywhere I went, like I was carrying around this invisible stain that everyone could see. All because Rachel could not handle the truth. Kevin said we should take a weekend trip. Get away from everything, so we did. We drove to a small town a few hours away, stayed in a quiet cabin, and left our phones off. And for the first time in weeks, I could breathe. When we came back, it was easier, not fixed, but quieter. People had moved on to the next thing, some other drama, some other scandal. Rachel was still posting, but now it was mostly baby pictures. Sometimes she would sneak in a sad caption or a cryptic line, but fewer people were reacting. The attention was fading, and I think she knew it. I still felt angry, not just because of the lies, but because she had tried to make me the villain in her story. Like I was the one who had betrayed someone, like I was the one who had destroyed a family. But I also felt tired of defending myself, tired of explaining, tired of people choosing the loudest voice instead of the truth. Kevin stood by me through it all. So did his mom, and that mattered more than anything. Update 3. A few weeks after her last dramatic post, Rachel completely stopped posting online. No sad quotes, no baby pictures, nothing. At first, I thought maybe she was just laying low, waiting for the attention to come back. But then Kevin's aunt mentioned that Rachel's apartment looked empty. The blinds were shut, the lights were off for days, and no one had seen her come or go. A neighbor finally confirmed it, said a moving truck showed up early one morning, and by noon she was gone. No goodbyes, no announcements, just gone. 2 days later, Rachel made one last post, a long paragraph about needing to protect her peace and focus on her child. She said she was tired of being surrounded by fake people and lies, said she was choosing healing and growth. There were no details about where she went, just a blurry photo of a sunset and a caption about fresh starts. No one in the family responded, not one comment, not even a like. It was quiet after that, like everything finally settled down. Kevin's mom said it best, sometimes the trash takes itself out. I did not say anything, but I could not help feeling a strange mix of relief and sadness. Not for Rachel, but for everything that had happened. I did not want to think about her anymore. I just wanted to move forward without always looking over my shoulder or checking my phone every time a notification came through. Kevin and I went back to focusing on our life. We started planning a small trip. I started feeling like I could go out without worrying someone would glare at me in the store or ask about the baby. It was like the weight was finally off. Rachel has not been heard from since. No one knows exactly where she went. Some say she's in another state with a friend. Others think she's trying to start over under a new name. I honestly do not care. Stay tuned for more stories from our girl relationships.